Hello and welcome to Recently Seen Horror, where I tell you about horror I've recently seen, quite obviously. Or I would tell you what I've watched if I had an idea of what the hell I watched. I know the title. The title is Feast from 2005, and I know it's a monster movie, but when you're watching this, you're really going, what the hell am I even looking at? Not because it's a bad thing, it's actually an incredibly entertaining movie. This is a movie that is best watched with some of your friends, which I did, lucky for me, and some alcoholic beverages. Because that's just how it is. It's really a fun romp made for just sitting there having fun watching it. You really wouldn't laugh as much as I did if you were watching it alone. But what is Feast? It's basically the most plotless monster movie I've ever seen. I think the best way to describe this is From Dusk Till Dawn in reverse. I mean, in Dusk Till Dawn we start off really seriously with these two criminals, and then they go to a bar and everything just fucks up and goes into holy shit land. But in Feast we start off in the bar where everything is completely off. I mean, the characters introduced are really not characters at all. I mean, their names are practically their professions or some trademark about them. There's this little text profile every time they show up saying what they're called, some random info about them, and the funniest of all, life expectancy. It's just hilarious how they play around with our expectation. I mean, there's this guy in a wheelchair. Well, life expectancy just says, they wouldn't kill a cripple, would they? And that got me laughing. And I think it would most who watch this. It's so wrong, you just can't help but laugh at that. But like I said, it's Dusk Till Dawn reverse. There's this bar where everything is a little zany, a little weird, and then suddenly everything just fucks up, and we actually stay in the bar. And I don't know, it just reminded me of From Dusk Till Dawn if it was newer and didn't start off seriously. So, what is the premise of this movie? Like I said, it's the most plotless movie I've ever seen. It's basically a bunch of people are at a bar, and suddenly they're attacked by monsters. There you go. I mean, I'm just wondering how the hell you even pitch that to some movie company. Do you really just go, so I have a bar and some monsters, and that's just... money, please. Well, anyway, so what did I think about Feast? I think I made it pretty clear I was incredibly entertained, but again, mostly because I was watching it with friends. This is a party movie. This is really a movie you just watch with people, hype each other up, and laugh at what the hell is going on. And you can't help but laugh because this movie is fucking insane. There's absolutely no reason or explanation for these monsters. There's a couple of theories about what went on, but there's really no background for these things. They just show up and fuck you up, and really everything that happens is insane. I mean, there's someone who gets sodomized by the monsters before they tear her apart. There's this one guy who goes through so much physical abuse without getting killed off. You just feel sorry for him. You're just like, oh, just kill him already. God, how much does he have to go through, really? And I really... it's just insane, really. That's the best way to describe it. So, there are some flaws. There's always flaws with stuff like this, because it is only made to entertain and does that well. But, I could use an actual story. There's, like, no story at all in this. You could argue that it doesn't need it, and it doesn't to be entertaining, but to be a good movie, it's just kind of missing something actually going on. I mean, they give one character a reason to get out of that bar other than, holy crap, I want to survive. And that's the only thing we really get. And that, yeah, that's not enough. Another thing is that the directing suffers from what I think of as the post-2000 action movie syndrome. Basically, every freaking time something happens, the camera goes spastic and insane and keeps jumping all over the place and cutting at random, and we only see an eye fucking around for a bit and then a claw and there's just... when something happens, I want to see what fucking happens. And this just goes on. This happens so often in newer movies. It's starting to really piss me off. I mean, Die Hard 4 is very guilty of this, and Gamer, which is a terrible movie, not that Die Hard 4 is any good either. And I was just disappointed to see that in Feast, because I was thinking, we're getting some monsters, we're getting some people killed off, and that's gonna be awesome to watch. And it wasn't. Well, it was awesome, but it's just over in 3 seconds, and all you've seen are 500 pigs flashing by, and you're like, what? But, yeah, this is a pretty short review, actually. The bottom line is, Feast is an incredibly fun horror movie. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it doesn't have to be entertaining. You should watch it with your friends, because you're, without a doubt, gonna laugh your ass off if you're anything like me. And, it's really a one-time view. You won't be as surprised or as psyched about it the next time. But I am definitely gonna watch the 2 sequels. If they're any good, well, then I'm just lucky. If they're not, well, there's always the first Feast, which was at least friggin' fun to watch. And that's actually all I have. It's, like I said, it was this really short review. I don't have much to say. It's an entertaining movie, and you should watch it with your friends. And with some alcohol. So yeah, go watch Feast, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Stay scared.